Hello, Capricorn. My name is Kristen Simone-Hansen, and welcome to SeaGoat Secrets. Hi again, I'm Kristen and I'm a healer. In this video, you are going to get a full rundown of the transits for the month of March and how they are affecting you on an emotional and psychological level. If at any point this resonates with you and you would like to dive deeper for your own personal transits and get a deeper understanding of your own experience, you can join the healing circle here, and that link can also be found below, and become a personal client with me. And as you guys know, I am a global citizen and I want to connect with all of you on a worldly and global level, so drop where you are listening from in the comments. Now, with all of that being said, let's get into this. Okay, so Capricorn. March is an interesting month. February, as I kept saying, left you in a space that was both light and dark. You know, you were seeing the sun kind of come out from the clouds, but then the clouds were getting even darker. And why does that happen, right? As I always say, where there is yin, there is yang. Where there is dark, there is light. And when you illuminate one thing, it puts emphasis on what was there. So sometimes it's easier to leave things where you found them, right? If you shine the light on a dark corner, you see all the muck and the dirt and the I don't know, mold and stuff that's growing in that corner, and you have to clean it. And sometimes the idea of cleaning it is so unbearable than if you just left it and you didn't even know it was there. Sometimes the notion in itself is unnerving. And that's kind of where February had you. So as the light comes out, the emphasis on the dark. And a part of why this last few months has been really painful for you, difficult for you, especially from October to now, is because you are aware of what you deserve. When Pluto shifted into Aquarius, even right beforehand, all of the placements that were playing out in Capricorn, especially in January, as Capricorn was all throughout your first house, you were changing, you were transforming. And you were transforming to being a greater and more loving you, but loving to yourself. You guys have had to learn how to love yourself deeper, how to nurture yourself more. And as you've been doing that, especially as the Pluto transit took place and all of those placements were in Aquarius, like I said in the self-betrayal video, which you can find the self-betrayal video here, you no longer want to betray yourself. You don't want to hurt yourself. You don't want to put yourself on the back burner. You don't want to be the overworker. You don't want to be the hyper responsible. All of these things are fading away because you're loving yourself more. And it sounds good on paper, but that's the thing. When you illuminate, when you add light to something, it puts an emphasis on all the dark corners that are left there, that have been there, that frankly have been there for years, but it didn't hurt as much before as it does right now. And that's a part of why so many of you guys are going through a lot of emotional and psychological turmoil, because it feels, you know, terrible and it feels painful. But the thing is, it's the aftermath of the actual experiences. So the experiences themselves that you have had to survive are no longer there. They're no longer existing. But what's left is this residual stuff, you know, this trauma or this pain, these things that you're working through that are sitting inside of you. And obviously when you're dealing with something like a Pluto transit, it is trauma. It is a revelation of so many things and trying to come full circle with so much and still remaining hopeful. And you guys have had it very rough. And as you have been closing out the karmic cycle to bring about a new life for yourself, and a part of that being so heavy was to make it so that you could understand peace being progress, and you could understand how to have a simplistic life, or what truly was valuable to you. You're exhausted and oftentimes feeling betrayed from things bigger than yourself. You don't want to betray yourself anymore, which is good, but in order to kind of get you to that place, you have to feel betrayed by everything else. You had to feel like you were forgotten in order to not forget yourself. You had to be pushed to the corner of the ring in order to understand how to finally fight back. And it's difficult. It's not an easy thing to navigate at all, not even close. But all of these things are running through your subconscious because it's an increase in self-worth. As your dignity becomes the center stage, you will no longer tolerate the things that you tolerated before, and they feel more painful now than they did in the past because you're so aware. You're so aware of what you went through and how wrong it was. You're so aware of what the past did to you. You're so aware of the karmic cycles. You're aware of the pain and the transformation. You're simply just aware of Pluto. You're aware of so many things, and it's shining, not shining, but it's putting a damper on a lot. And that's okay. That is completely normal. As the month goes out, there's a lot of change that's going to be happening that's out of your hands, which is going to feel very good for you. And your emotions are going to be in a better place as the month continues on, which is going to also feel very great. There's a lot of big change happening, and end of, again, cycles. So finally being able to kind of see through the fact that you didn't go through all of this for no reason, and there is an end, right? There is a light. And so let's kind of get into this in terms of the transit. So with Pisces being in your third house, Pisces is in the Sun, and Pisces is also in Saturn. And this is along with what's going on with the Aries Chiron that I keep talking about in terms of addressing either the mother wound or the home wound. Not to say everyone has one, but just to say that we are addressing these things to understand the wounds that we had created from those dynamics in those places. And so these two things working together, and yes, Pisces represents your third house, which is more about communication, siblings, neighbors, close quarters, but it's still Pisces. And that's a part of the reason why for you as a Capricorn placement, why you tend to have a small circle, or why you tend to be more introverted, because your third house, Pisces is in your third house, and Pisces is a sensitive, compassionate space that's kind of delicate to the touch. And so when it comes to your close quarters, you like them to be the way you like them to be. And when it comes to your conversations, you don't like to entertain anything that's going to hurt you or wound you. Why you take conversations or words so deeply, right? Because your close quarters need to feel like a very safe and compassionate space because it's governed by Pisces. So with all this energy being illuminated, along with what's going on with Aries in your fourth house, here you are wanting to put a lot of emphasis on the new life that you want to build for yourself that is much more comfortable and much more in alignment with you first. You don't want to compromise yourself. You don't want to live in chaos anymore. You don't want to feel uncomfortable. You don't want to have discomfort. When it comes to the connections that you want to build, you want to make sure that the friendships that you have around you, you actually feel safe with. That the people that you're spending your time with don't make you feel uprooted or like you have to carry the weight of the world to have them in your life. You're letting go of hyper-responsibility because you're letting go of self-betrayal because you're loving yourself deeper, which is what the Aquarius generation is for you completely. And so all of this change is happening, and Aries being the cardinal fire sign that it is, you have all the momentum to see it through, but you're also angry. And I'm going to dive deeper into this in another video when it comes to addressing rage, but a lot of anger could be the emotion that you guys are feeling, along with sadness, frustration, and impatience, because you want what it is that you want, and you feel like you've been waiting for a very long time, and you more than likely have. But here we are, as I keep saying, in the 8th year that is governed by Aquarius, which is the Aquarius generation in general, especially Aquarius Pluto, is about quick and fast movement. It's in air now and not in earth, so things happen a lot sooner. We are in the 8th year, which is about karmic reward. It is a Capricorn year, so what you give out comes back to you in a much more swifter way. If you haven't, a lot of it is because of the pain that you feel and the residual weight that is going on, but there are a lot of changes that have taken place for you in a beneficial way, but most of the time you can't really see it because of the things that have not changed, and the things that have not changed feel heavier than the things that have, and a lot of it is about perception. Your emotions are a part of what is keeping you bound, and that is okay. That is completely normal. Really, you need to be given the tangible results at this point because you've stepped out on faith so many times. So this is the thing that is going to be playing out throughout the month of March. You still have enough energy to try your hardest to create what it is that you want, which is really a sense of peace. Going back to the 6-month reading, a sense of the Six of Cups, the Ten of Cups, where it's okay if everything isn't perfect. You just want to make sure that it's the way that it needs to be. You want to finally feel stable and like you're no longer in a space of frustration or unnervedness or discomfort. And so this is the energy that you're going to be given. And the good thing is March is full of surprises because of the Uranus energy. So there are different things that will surprise you, that will work in your favor, and most importantly, your emotions feeling lighter and feeling better as the days go by. So I would say don't force yourself to have to do anything really. Just try your... I don't want to tell you to try your hardest to do anything because what you feel is valid. So, so it's more like just understand that change is afoot, and what you think is impossible can in fact be very possible. As we go through this energy, so we're moving through Pisces, which is the deep waters and emotional space, which is where your emotions will be because of what it is that you want. When we finally go into the Aries season, the second half of the month, things are going to be feeling more light for you on an emotional level. Psychologically, there's a weight lift, and that weight lift is going to feel very good. Now, it's not to say it's all sunshine and rainbows, because it follows with an eclipse where deep endings are taking place, and endings are not always easy. But as you continue to illuminate the light, and as more light comes to find you in terms of your emotions and your happiness and being able to see that it is in fact okay, there's still more emphasis on the things that are not okay. And it's about navigating those emotions the best way that you can throughout the shift. But it's a big karmic shift that doesn't just apply for you, but it applies to all of us, really. The beginning of the generation in that sense. So I would say to allow your emotions to be as they are, especially if you're going through intense despair or rage or sadness. But as much intensity as you put toward those emotions, try to put as much intensity into the opposite. The things that are, you've had to learn how to really be grateful for the little things. And the more you emphasize those little things, those moments where things feel good or where there is joy or the things are actually working for you, it's going to create a healthier emotional dynamic during this time period, so things are a little bit more lax and more lenient. It's all about emotional progression at this point. Many of you are dealing with very real issues on the outside, but in terms of being able to deal with it properly, it's about navigating your internal and understanding that you're not in the same space that you were even just this time last year. The energy is different, okay? So that is kind of just a little bit of information for the month of March and understanding the emotional body. I would say all throughout the month of March, it's about understanding the emotional body and doing the best that you can to navigate and water your emotional body and take care of it, okay? Because where you are emotionally has been causing more disruption than maybe it should. So yeah, okay, so I love you. Ciao. Oh, wait, I almost dropped my cup. Yeah.